Good morning, YouTubers. Well, we're going to do something a little different today. Seeing we never did any snow clearing videos last winter because we never really had much snow to justify it. We had some red crushed stone delivered yesterday, 2 loads, which is the equivalent of 32 tons. So I removed the tooth bar from the bucket, and we're going to go down and we're going to spread a little bit of it. We won't show it all being done, but give you a little idea what's going on. I was going to play the radio because we have open line radio where people call in with the problems of today and trying to work them out, but there's copyright issues, I believe, in that, so I probably won't go there. You can see the pile of stone. What else was I going to mention here? I got it forgot. But anyway, that's what we're going to do. So it'll be a little different. I'll try not to talk too much. People say I talk too much, so I'm not going to talk too much. Anyway, we'll just enjoy the sounds of the tractor, so to speak. And let's get to it. Hopefully the sound is okay. Got the microphone set up here. There was a bit of dew up on the windshield. That's because I was in while I was setting up the audio and the video. I had the AC on, and it was quite cold when I got back in the cab. So we're just going to take our time and go to it. This place was all dug up last year due to the expansion of the shop, and so we're only now just getting back to, I should put it in 4-wheel drive, I guess. We're just getting back now to actually straightening it all out. It's a good day to do this because last night it really rained a lot. And this stuff here is quite dusty, so it worked out good. There's one little problem with it raining and this stuff. It kind of got a tendency to stick a little bit in the bucket, so that's why you might find it a little bit rough. But it's the GoPro 7 Hero Black, and it's got a really good stabilization system in it. So. Whew, now I gotta turn that heat. Turn on the AC again. I'm having flashbacks, folks. I took off the tooth bar because as nice as tooth bars are for digging, they're not really needed for crushed stone. And the other thing is when you're dumping it with the tooth bar on, you'll see every line of the tooth or the teeth. So that's why. That's why I took it off. It's only 2 bolts. I'll put a picture of it right here in the corner. Now you can see how I built it. I'm more interested in spreading it out now than I am leveling it out, because I got a guy's tractor, a friend of mine that I repaired his tractor, and he'll eventually want to come and get it, so the stuff is right in his way to get it. So I'll spread this out today, and I'll worry about really cleaning it up later on. Now, if I wasn't recording, I would have the radio on, which I find quite relaxing. But a few people did ask me if I would record spreading the stone, so that's what I'm doing. I say I'm not going to get particular with it now, but I seem to always get particular with it now. I don't get much seat time lately, so it's kind of nice to get in here and play around with the tractor a little bit. For those of you who aren't familiar with the tractor, it is a 2012 Kubota GL 5740. How many hours does it have on it? Let's see, I'll tell you. It's got 387 hours on it. Not exactly worn out. We used to do commercial snow clearing one time, and I kind of gave that up. And we used to have a 4240, much like this, but just a 42 horsepower. It was a great tractor. But then I took it in my head to get the 5740. Then when I got the 5740, we used it for one winter commercial snow clearing. And then we went back to just using it around the door. So yeah, it's probably a little big for our needs, but you know, it is a nice tractor, and I got it done exactly the way that I want it. We got an air ride seat in it. We put the air ride seat in it when Kubota didn't even have an air ride seat in their smaller tractors. So now they're using the air ride seats in their 60 series. It's a Grammer seat. It's quite. It's a very nice seat. Very comfortable. Usual questions I get when people are watching the videos and the camera's in cab is, this here is a backup camera, this here is the volt gauge, this here is the ambient air temperature, which is outside, so it's 17 degrees Celsius outside. I'm not sure if this is in your point of view, but there's a digital doohickey down here, and that's an inclinator, that's a digital tilt meter. So we'll clear that up now. is crushed about an hour away from here. It's very rare to see it around. Well, you see people using it, but there's not a lot of people selling it or crushing it. So we've been buying it from these people for years. Normally you wouldn't have to replace it, but like I say, last year we had a lot of construction going on down here and things got moved around and some of that redstone got displaced, and so it happens. There's no big deal. I'm just kind of compacting it a little bit there with the bucket. To get too close, you don't want to tip it over on the side. I'm trying to drop some down over the side of it there. You hear a beep, guys, that's the tilt meter beeping. See the dust in the pile there now. always attack the pile from the front, and then when you see the peak on the sides, then I go after the peak. It's a lot easier for digging, and it kind of keeps the pile contained. You'll notice the eaves aren't done on the shop there yet, because my buddy never got a chance that built the place, so he's going to do that next week. So he says. Time will tell. He's pretty reliable. And then I'll hit the pause button and I'll listen to a bit of the radio. That way you guys get to see a bit of video and I get to listen to the radio. That's what we refer to as compromise. That ramp was made out of crushed concrete. And last year when it was put there, everybody said that won't be there in the spring, it's going to be all washed away. It never moved. Goes to show how wrong viewers can be at times. that's a tricky side there because I got to have my wheels cut, and it's a perfect way to flip a tractor. And I don't want to end up on America's Funniest Videos today. You guys probably can't tell how high it is there on the side, but it's probably 4 feet. No trouble to upset a tractor there. So if we're gonna play, we gotta play safe. So I usually don't have the tractor very dirty, but I haven't had a chance to really clean it. I didn't have a chance to clean it last fall because we were doing the construction on the building and we needed it for doing lifting and pretty well everything else. Then when the winter came, it was snow clearing when I did go out, and when the spring came I didn't clean it because I knew I had some chores to do around like this. So now when we get this done, that'll be pretty well it for the tractor work, and we'll clean her up real good, and yes, even wax it. I'm sure there's a few of you out there that wax your tractors. There's one thing about it, the Grandel, the 40 series, the 60 series, with the factory cab, you can tell how quiet it is, because I mean I'm working the tractor and I'm talking to you at the same time. So you know, I've always said Kubota makes a fabulous, well, they make a fabulous tractor, but their cabs are outstanding. So I worked in the mod shop all Sunday. So this is kind of my Sunday work here now. I'll do this today, and that'll be my time back that the mod shop took from me. Sides and stuff, I'll probably just take the rake and hand rake and run over it a little bit just to make it look pretty. Get the BX out later on, and on the other side of that ramp I'll probably throw some on the side there with the BX, because she's a little bit shorter and a little bit easier to get in around there. time ago when I used to operate heavy equipment, the company I worked for never had road sanders. So what you would have to do is you would pick up a bucket full of what they call tailings. Tailings is like the waste that comes from iron ore. It's like beach sand. And what you would do is you would fill up your bucket. You'd go out on the road, you know, with all the traffic and everything around, and that's how you would sand the roads, just like I did then. And of course, it was so cold there that you'd go, the faster that you could go, you'd go right down the middle of the road, and the faster you would go, the further it would spread. So I used to spread the sand all over the road in one pass. Of course, if you did that today, you'd be shot, and rightfully so. But you do what you're told to do. Watch out, Forky. To get it in a bit closer to the wall, so I'll show you a little trick that I like to do in a situation like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm basically only going to fill the right side of my bucket, because if we fill the full bucket, we're going to have an overflow out in the road. So we don't want to create any more work for ourselves. We're going to get some out there, and that's okay. But we don't need to fill the whole bucket. It's starting to look like something there now. I gotta watch it because there's a street light right behind me. So you can see, just by filling the right side of the bucket, we got a good bit in there. So we need another couple of shots of that. Like I said, I got a little bit of handwork to do with the rake, because the tractor is a bit big and it's a bit dangerous. That's quite high. It's my gosh, it must be 10 feet over there. So you don't want to put yourself in a position where you're going to cause damage to your tractor and damage to your property. So sometimes a little bit of handwork is just smart. pretty rocky there as well. Just want to get enough in there so I can distribute it out with the rake later on. This is kind of what I refer to as a rough end. You can see I'm dragging a rock down there. Look.
Getting there.
So as you can see, I'm getting it straightened away without having to get out of the cab. There's always going to be a little bit of hand work. Again, in this situation, I only put in a half a bucket, and what I mean by a half is the left side of the bucket. I think I'll concentrate more just down in this section now. I'm going to call that good enough for up there. Looking a bit better, folks. trying to reorganize it there now so I can get at it better. Plus, I'm enjoying the seat time. And that's what it's all about, seat time. I'll tell you one thing, folks, we won't have too much of it left over. Anyway, the remote I was wearing on my wrist, the battery went dead in that, so I've been turning the camera on and off manually. Big job too. Got to use a full finger on it. Little bit that's left there, I'm going to leave it there, and then when my buddy picks up his tractor and his trailer, I'll spread it where the tractor and the trailer is, and that should take care of the rest of it. So 2 loads worked out quite well. So with that, I think I'll say goodbye to you. And we'll see you the next time around. So stay safe, be good to each other, and God bless.